G'day guys, welcome along to the channel. Just me and Chris here, out on a wee overnighter. This is sort of your classic sort of weekend mission, to be honest. So we thought we'd do something a bit different with the video and try and give you some tips on how to do your own public land backcountry mish here in New Zealand. We've been doing it for about 7 or 8 years now, so we know a thing or two, but we're definitely no experts. But yeah, we thought we'd give you some tips on sort of your planning your mish, a bit about gear and how to read your weather, and even figuring out where to go with the old topo maps and where to hunt. So yeah, anything to add, Chris?
Yeah, no, I'm just going to try and help you guys sort of manage your time. Obviously we've only got a night, so yeah, you've only got a couple afternoons and mornings hunting, so yeah, time's key out in the hills. So yeah, going to try and put you guys in the right direction and help you get onto some animals.
Made it. Well, the first part of any successful hunt is figuring out where to go. We've got a bloody wealth of public land here in New Zealand, so there's no shortage of hunting area. If you jump on the NZ Topo 50 map service, I've got a dock hunting overlay that you can put on. So that's going to tell you every area that you're allowed to hunt with a permit. On top of that, it's going to tell you where all the tracks are and where the huts and shelters are that you can stay at. Yeah, and then if you want to know some more info, if you look up that hut on a Remote Huts website, it should give you a good idea of how long it's going to take, sort of what the track's like. And then any more info you want, if you just call up the local dock office for the area, they'll be happy to point you in the right direction and give you some tips on where the animals might be if you're lucky. I think something that's real important when you're setting out on a mish, let somebody know where you're going and when you plan on coming out, and carry a PLB with you. We take a Garmin inReach, it's bloody useful. If something goes wrong, you can hit that SOS button or text out to a chopper pilot and your loved ones and let them know you're okay. Made it to the hut, which is not your typical dock hut. It's the A-frame shelter. Another hut just up the hill, which we're probably going to go sleep in tonight. But, yeah. That's pretty much what you're going to expect if you come out into the backcountry. Is usually got a couple bunks and a wee shelf for cooking on.
We're dumping our shit and we're going to scoot straight up the hill. It's about 1 o'clock. Yeah, a few hours of hunting light left. Hopefully we can find some deer for the video.
Yeah. Actually, it's pretty weak of us, bro. What? We don't even have venison salami. We've got store-bought salami here. We call ourselves hunters.
So once you figured out where you want to go, the next question is to look at what the weather's doing. Me and Mitch, we use 3 websites: Wire Weather, MetView and MetService. Generally 2 out of the 3 are usually pretty good, so we sort of cross-reference all 3 of them and you generally get a good idea of what it's doing. Another handy thing with Wire is it shows the wind direction, and with wind direction you can sort of plan your hunt accordingly. So what's this wind doing, Mitch? If we look at that one?
Yeah, this wind's come straight across all the faces that we want to wehunt, so we've done this really well. So we're going to be centering them all up.
Yeah, the biggest thing to look out for is making sure there's no heavy rain coming. If there is, either stay at home or just avoid the main valleys where the rivers will rise a lot. And yeah, if you need to cross the river, obviously.
Yeah, I think another tip with the weather is sort of pays to have a check what the weather's doing the first few days before you actually go in on your trip, just in case there's a big fresh dumping of snow or the rivers are going to be up. Like at the moment, all the rivers are pumping. But he pissed down over the last weekend, so
yeah. Hence our choice to go in here. There's no big river crossings. What me and Mitch do is we usually screenshot on our phones what the weather's doing for like the first 3 or 4 days. They can be pretty changeable, so after about the 3rd day you got to expect that it could completely change and you might be thrown in something you're not really expecting. So yeah, it just pays to be mindful of what the weather's doing and be mindful where you are. We've got the inReach obviously, so we can get weather updates whenever. Which comes in handy quite a lot, eh?
Yes, bloody handy bit of kit. Good being able to text out to home as well and people can check in and make sure you're alright if you've got some worried loved ones. So we found some pretty nice bush edges. We're going to look down into this here. We think it might be quite good for a deer to come out, but the wind's right behind us at the moment coming down there, and you never want to hunt with the wind behind you. So we're going to push up here, so that as the evening draws on we can just look down on them and hopefully not win them and get a bit of stalking.
So our key point to finding deer is by watching the bush lines down here, especially on the public land. They probably won't come out till like either quite late in the evening or early morning. So we're pretty much just watching the bush line, hoping they're going to come out and feed. But we're up here at a pretty good spot, so we can see quite a lot. Good vantage point. Now we just wait for the deer.
Yeah, this is when they just come out and then we shoot one.
Yeah.
And that's how you deer hunt.
This is the easy bit.
There's a lot of good country around, so another thing to look for as well is sort of sign that the animals in the area. So obviously you got the animals scatter their poo and then their tracks. So in the head of this valley here there's heaps of tracks going across these scree slopes, so it looks like a lot of animals are passing through the area. Whether they're still in there or not we're not sure, but to highlight the importance of being prepared for any sort of weather. It's snowing on us now. It was meant to be a nice sunny afternoon. Too high for deer at the moment, so we're potentially going to head down the ridge a bit and look at the bushy just further down there, but the snow's probably not helping either.
Mitch. Mitch. Me. 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 Oh, that was gnarly. What? That was gnarly. I think, yeah, you hit him pretty good, I think. Yeah, no, you got him. Yeah, boy! Hey! Oh my god. Yes! Oh shit. Fuck.
Is that quick fix, isn't it?
Well, you did say we wanted to test how the camera went in low light. We sure did. Oh. I was trying to like yell at you, bro. He's like running with it. Mitch!
It goes to show that when you're hunting, like, you never know what's going to be around the next bend, and you always want to be relatively prepared. Obviously you want your gun safe, nothing up the chamber, but we just ducked around that wee knoll there and set up to glass all these bush lines, and then
lucky your eyes are onto it.
I just saw the deer just steer straight at us.
I don't know he's that close, bro.
And yeah, just scrambled, got us together. And yeah, in those situations, you get pretty lucky if they stop. Sometimes they just going to go. But it pays to get ready and keep an eye just in case. And as you might have heard, Sandy put a little whistle. Just to try and turn the deer, and worked perfectly. No, I had a good shot standing still, so pretty confident with that one.
Heavy boy, eh?
Just yes.
Yes.
So, action. But once you're finished shooting, it's pretty easy to get distracted and caught up in the moment, and you might have loaded another shot in, anticipating the second shot. Just face to make sure you double check, calm it all down a bit, and make sure you're not running around with a hot barrel. So yeah, we've got nothing up the chamber, always happy to check with your mates as well. You're not a tosser for asking your mate if he's got a safe rifle, because no one wants any accidents out here. Yep, safe as.
Happy with that?
Happy with that. Nice.
It's pretty small.
You're a good eater though. Sorry, mate. So we were going to try and give you guys a bit of a rundown on a bit of field dressing and how to butcher up a deer, but it's frickin' freezing. It was already dark, so we're going to save that for another time. But some key points to touch on is you want to keep the fur off the meat if possible, and obviously keep the meat as clean as possible when you're making your cuts. Just makes it easier at home. And then if you're real new to it, the key cuts you're really looking for is you want to take the back legs and the back steaks. That's your first two, your best cuts. And then you got your shoulders. They're great for sort of roasting and slow cooking. And then there's some fillets, which are just on the inside of the rib cage, sort of where the back steaks are, but underneath. So you can either gut it out, or there's a wee technique to getting it from out the back here. But yeah, that's probably all we'll touch on today, sorry, but maybe one day again we'll try and do another how-to video or give you a better idea on what we do. Another important thing to note when you're butchering an animal is just be real careful with your knife. We've heard a few stories of jokers falling on their knife on the hill. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to hit that bloody PLB button, so just make sure you got sort of a good footing when you're cutting and the animal's in a position where it's not going to roll down on you or roll down the hill, and yeah, just be safe with it, because shit, you've done the hard part, now it's
yeah, reap the rewards. It's quite nice having a wee screen to wash your hands in. Pretty enough when you get down.
I fucking missed it. Now it's probably a good time to mention that bloody good head torch is pretty well essential to a modern day hunter. If you're going to be doing after dark camp returns and shooting animals on last light, it's bloody necessary to know where you're going. On that note, Chris and I are both running lead lenses at the moment, and we're bloody chuffed with them. I've both been running them for a couple of years now and haven't really been let down. So first couple of years of me hunting, I used a $20 bloody head torch from the warehouse, like just enough to see the feet, just about. And Sandy was bugging me, he was like, Mitch, get a bloody good head torch. Finally upgrading. Holy shit, it makes a difference. Morning guys, walk out today, we've got bloody heavy packs, which is an awesome feeling. Obviously last night got a little bit hectic and turned into a bit of a spook and shoot scenario rather than like what we were trying to display to you guys of finding a nice vantage point, finding some animals and then stalking in, using the wind and just figuring out how to get in there and getting close and actually seal the deal. But that's alright, worked out in the end, and I suppose that's a point to probably cover, is that you never know how it's going to go hunting, and just be alert and be aware. But yeah, so we didn't quite delve into all the how-to that we wanted to for this trip, but we're sort of our first go at this. I'd love to know what you guys think of it, and if you'd like to see us do more of this sort of thing, because it's a bit different to our usual video. So yeah, leave us a comment down below if you sort of like this or you want us to delve into anything. But yeah, what do you reckon the main points were from this trip, Sandy?
I'd say the main points would be finding a good vantage point, just getting to a spot where you can see a lot of the bushline, and obviously watch the bushline morning and evening. It's your best time on public land to actually find a deer, come out and feed. Always be cautious of the wind. Obviously if the wind's going down and the bushline's below you, it's probably going to be no good, so you want to sort of get off that and away from that. But yeah, pretty much just be patient when you're glassing. You know, they can come out quite late, as we saw yesterday. We got them right on last light, so yeah, just patience is a virtue out here. And yeah, get away from all the tracks and huts. Obviously me and Mitch travelled for about 3 hours off the track. This is a popular tramping route.
Another important note to add on that is be extra safe out here, guys. Figure out where you're firing. Obviously you've got your bloody firearms rules, but be real cautious of what direction you're firing in, where your bullet might travel. Never shoot on the skyline, you don't know what's behind it. And yeah, keep it safe, because us hunters, it's pretty easy to get a bad name when you're running around the hills with a rifle. So we're all in it together, it's a community of us, and we want to be seen in a good light. So yeah,
keep it up. This year's been good so far.
Yeah, bloody oath. No, they're out there, guys, and you just got to find them. So hope you guys have found some sort of use in this, and hopefully it wasn't too shit. So no, cheers for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and good luck out there. Hopefully you can get some Veni for the freezer.
Yeah, bloody oath. Thanks guys.
Cheers.